What's going on, everybody? This is roster of the Misfit Effects. And of course, I'm joined with my beautiful, beautiful, beautiful co-host, Miss Sarah Lace.
Well, hello there. Thank you again for that warm welcome. I am back at it again, and this time I brought another lovely and beautiful, beautiful, gorgeous friend. Her name is Leilani Lee.
Hi.
So fucking cute. Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself, please?
Hi guys, I'm Leilani Lee. I am an adult model, international award-winning porn star.
Hmm.
Yeah, like as I noticed, like she won Black Tea Girl of the Year a few weeks ago. She
I
she
did.
won she won Girl Scene this year. I think it's called Tea Girl Nights. Like she won Best Trans Performer trans newcomer. Just up here killing it this year, ain't she? Just
I am.
Mm.
I
just
am.
making those marks like, hey, I'm
Just
here.
get to work. Yeah, taking up some space. Don't mind if I do.
Mhm. It's like checking off
Yeah.
a list of awards.
hmm It is. It's been like surreal. Like when I first started, I was like, oh, that'll be cool if I get nominated for an award this year. But I didn't know that I would win an award, let alone win such great awards. So it's been like really exciting.
Yeah, because
That sounds
I
awesome.
remember because I met you at Urban X
We did.
last year, and then
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, because I don't know like everybody who gets nominated, since I do work with like posting everybody out. So I'm like, okay, and I went down the list, and then I met you. I'm like, this person seems like a very awesome human being, and then
Oh,
like all of a sudden I started seeing you everywhere. I'm like, oh my God, you're just popping up on the feed like, hey, award, award, award. I'm like, okay, 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 guys, kill it, kill it.
oh, thank you.
I am hyped for your success, and I'm
Oh, thank
like,
you so much.
I'm not getting any type of award, but I am hyped for your success over here. I'm like, okay, you can
Thank
continue
you.
killing it, and I'm like, keep killing it.
Thank you. Honestly, I hadn't even thought about it, but the Urban X Award, that was my first time ever being nominated for any type of award, and my second time going to like an awards event like that. So that was pretty fun. I'm actually really excited for this year.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
Mhm.
So, are you going to this year for Urban X?
I will go. Yeah, I'm gonna go.
I
It's
will
in August.
definitely see you there. Yeah.
would you
It's in
say?
August,
Rochester
right?
will be there,
It's in
so see
August.
you
It's
in
in
person.
August. Yeah. That's the one thing that I do in the industry is I help with that award show, and it's in August this year. And like right now, like I know your fans are like punching the keys nominating you right now. So best of
Yeah.
luck to again nominated and winning because you're doing so many damn good things now. But question, what do you do when in your spare time? What like gaming, TVs, what do you do?
So in my spare time, I am a nature girl. I love nature. I have hella animals. So if you hear them in the background, I have like three dogs here. So I have like animals. I love them so much. And that's mostly what I do, just like hang out with my animals, smoke weed. I'm in California. So smoke weed, read, eat, try new foods. There's a couple things that I really, really like to do outside of just like performing. Nothing like too crazy, like my hobbies are pretty like chill, laid back,
So
hang out with
nothing
my animals.
nothing crazy like skydiving and free falling and bungee jumping and stuff.
Ross
I,
stars, no, that's insanity.
yeah,
I said nothing too crazy.
I
Jeez
think that
Louise.
the craziest thing that no, nothing too crazy. I think that my hobbies are pretty vanilla, but no skydiving, bungee jumping, or anything like that. I would want to do it, but I just feel like I would be like really scared, and I feel like people who my sister just did a skydiving thing not too long ago, and I was really like excited for her, but I just can't see myself doing that. I just feel like it's a lot. Like to be up there and like that moment before you like jump out. It's just I just don't think I could do it. Have you
See,
guys ever done it?
I don't think
I'm never like like a lot of my friends have done it, and the thing is like when I'm watching it, like in my brain, it's kind of like you're like I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm afraid of a chute not opening. So
Yeah.
you got one chute that you're in, then you got the backup chute that the person who is your instructor, so they're holding on to you the entire time while you're free falling, whatever. What if both chutes don't work? It's a rarity, but like if both chutes don't work, y'all just free fall until you hit the ground. Yes, you
Yeah.
might die before you hit the ground, but you don't know when you will like
You will die before you hit the ground because you'll have a heart attack, I feel
yeah. So like and you don't know how
so
how
good.
extreme that heart attack is. And then if you do not die, you still got to hit the ground. So you're gonna
The
feel it for a split
roster
second before you
always
die.
thinks of the extreme. I swear,
Yeah,
he always thinks of the extremes for
I'm just
that's
everything.
really
I am
extreme.
just mindful of it.
Honestly, it's not something that I would do because of those things. There's actually a place right outside of where I'm at in the Bay Area. I think I'm not gonna say exactly where it's in the Bay Area, but I don't want to like
They don't give
say
you
it
location.
anyway.
Yeah,
So
names.
yeah, but constantly people are dying at the location and people still will skydive there. Even they're always doing it and they try not to make a big they don't make a big thing about it on the media because they don't want to lose business. But I've seen like several people throughout the history of this one business that's local of them dying, and it's just not something that I would want to do. Like it's really I think that people like it's like private pilots and they just do this. Like, like we have the credentials to fly a plane, and so now we're like, hey, you want to jump out of my plane? And not everything's always what it needs to be. I don't know how regulated that's now.
And see, and
Yeah.
this is why I was talking to someone the other day about people who do dumb things and people who talk about those people after they do it. Like in this instance we were talking about people jumping on the new Titanic. It's like if you knew the first one crashed into an iceberg, why would you jump on another one that is called the exact same thing? And then I was like, we were talking about the submarine people who they got into that submarine and it blew up. Like people will do dumb things no matter what. So I think
I yeah, I think it's like I think it's a dopamine thing when you do the skydiving moments, and then when it comes to like the Titanic, I feel like that's like a nostalgic thing. But then
Hmm.
when you get submerged in a submarine with a one way in and limited functioning controls, I don't know what that is. I think like I don't want to speak on it because it's so tragic, it's so sad, but I don't have that type of money to just throw away that type of money to make such risk. And I really just I was thinking about that the other day because no one's talking about it anymore. But like I was thinking about it like wow, those people like were in that moment and they just but did they like
Hmm.
implode or something like
yeah, they imploded.
I think so. Yeah.
Because it's just always a new story of craziness.
oh my
So
gosh.
So if you think about it this way, people might have like a fetish for it essentially.
Mhm.
You know, because like I don't know what it's called, but that like fetish when you get like wrapped up in latex and they suck out all the air. Think about it. Isn't that kind of what a submarine is in a way?
I mean, for me, I was like, so I like to swim, but I like to be able to see the bottom and kind of touch it. Like if I bob a little bit, I can
Yeah.
touch the bottom. So I like that. But swimming in an ocean and you don't see and you can't touch the bottom, no. Being in a confined space in the ocean is like a double no for me. So I don't know what being in the submarine is called because isn't that so scary? Like just being
Yeah.
under your cover thinking about being under the water is like a scary moment. Like that's just
I
like
I
so
don't
scary.
think I would be scared to be in a submarine, but I would be worried about to go how deep they tried to go because they were,
Yeah.
and like this is the reason I brought up the submarine is because the submarine they were going to go look at the boat of the Titanic or something like that.
Mhm.
So they were going down there to look at it, and then they blew up. So I'm like, no. But then again, the crazy thing I did was grab an
Did they
alligator's
blow up or
tail,
implode? Which one was it, you guys? I think they imploded.
Implode.
imploded.
Oh,
Vaporized.
They died. I don't know. I don't, they
It
like
was
they
yeah.
blew
fucking
up. They
Usually
blew
it
the
up.
was
I think the
extreme.
pressure kind of like got
Yeah,
everything
like the
like
pressure, right? And
Yeah,
it
yeah.
crushed,
and
They
but
squished.
like a million force, Sarah, like a million force to the point where it turned into fucking dust. Oh my
yeah,
Yeah,
God.
and
how
that's
much pressure it was, and it just wasn't like up to date, I guess. You
Why did it
know,
happen? Why did that happen again? It wasn't like it wasn't like up to code, right? Yeah.
it wasn't up
yeah,
to
I
code,
think
and they said that they were told not to go. Like the boat, like the people told them like it wasn't ready to go underwater yet, and they said, you know what? People already paid for it, and we already got more people wanting to go down there,
mhm.
and then like what made it worse was the same company still had people paying to go after it imploded.
Oh,
For
the
a while,
company's
yeah.
still in business.
No. For a while after, I think it's still in business, but a while after, they still had, people was trying to book after it imploded.
That's
That's
crazy.
just life goes on. They try to keep business going.
Yeah,
Like try
yeah,
to
but
forget
like,
happen and be like, all right, I'm sure we got another submarine ready to go. Let's
yeah, but
do it. And
they're
they,
trying to Kevorkian themselves though.
yeah, but it's all for the sake of money.
People might not even get that reference I just said. I'm getting old. You know who Kevorkian is? No,
Gorga?
no. When I say Kevorkian themselves, do you understand that reference? No,
No,
yeah.
but is that like Star Trek?
Both of y'all don't. No,
We're too
John
young
Ko-
to rock.
John Kevorkian was a doctor in the 90s that helped assist people to unalive themselves. And
Oh,
that's why I said people
assisted
were trying to
suicide.
yeah, I didn't want to say that word, but yeah, like they were trying.
Oh.
No, you can say it. You can say it. I wasn't saying it. They were like, but yeah, like he used to help doing that, and I'm like, they basically are paying $10,000s to Kevorkian themselves just to say,
Mhm.
you know what, I'm ready to go, and I might as well like spend all this money instead of giving it to somebody else.
That's only legal in some states still, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Canada has it too, I think.
I saw
yeah,
someone talking about it recently. It was like sad.
yeah. I mean, it's sad in
It is what
any.
it is.
Well, I think
I
that
feel
having
like
the power, well, people, well, okay, so it's not sad. It's not sad. I think that it is a blessing to have that option when you don't have any other options because people who take that option, it's not, they don't take it because like, oh, life sucks, I'm gonna go do this. They do it because of like medical reasons or I've heard stories where they do it for certain reasons. And it has to be
yeah.
approved. Yeah, it has to be approved. So yeah, so to have that blessing is, I guess, fine. But I just feel like it's always sad that that's an option that sometimes people need to like, take.
Yeah, but I think,
Great for them
But
too, because the thing is, they don't go alone. Like they may go
yes,
through a bit of paperwork to get through that, to be able to do it, but at least they don't go alone. And then the person that helps them do it doesn't get in trouble for it.
yeah, exactly.
and
At that point, it would usually be a doctor or whatever prescribing the meds or doing it at the hospital, stuff like that.
yeah, what John did wasn't approved. So and this is the '90s too.
Oh, it wasn't? He was
That's No, because like he would just like if I just went there and told him what I wanted to do, he would just help me do it.
And how much was he charging?
I don't like this is 90s money too, so I don't remember.
But was he
But
was charging though, right? He wasn't just like
yeah,
doing it
he
because
was
like
charging them.
no.
He was
Oh
charging
yeah.
them to do it, but like I know they were older individuals, and he was basically just helping them, go on, whatever. And I forget, like I just remember the case and what was going on. And in the 90s is a whole
Yeah.
different mindset because I was still a teenager. So it's like, oh my God, this is a lot. I'm not that
So
old.
he
Yeah.
was just like a black market doctor,
No,
basically.
he was a respectable doctor. Like all he had 5 stars and all that stuff.
Yeah, but if it wasn't legal there, then people got to do it one way or another, or not got to, but if people
Yeah,
are
he
going
got
to do it, they're going to do it one way or another. They're going to get their hands on it.
but
Where was he at?
Oh
huh?
yeah, where was this at?
I would have to look it up. Because this was a long time ago. But
Come on, you're a historian. You should know.
I am a historian, but I'm not that type of history. My degree is in history, yes. And
Did you go
do I,
to
huh?
did you sorry, while you're looking it up, I was gonna ask Sarah if did you go to Urban X last year?
Wait, yes, I did. It was during the hurricane time, wasn't it? Yeah, that was insanity. I was actually hosting for the party and the lingerie party and then the
Oh, the
regular
launch. Oh, okay, okay.
yeah, the regular party that got shut down.
Yeah, I
It was
didn't get to
a
go to the
regular
party.
outdoor bash. People weren't doing anything crazy, but it got shut down
Okay.
just because the name of it, whatever. Yeah.
He was arrested in 98. This was in Michigan, where this occurred. He was convicted of second degree murder. Um and Sir, he only served 8 years of his 10 to 25 like year sentence. And
Oh wow.
I don't think it like the first few was a mistrial, and basically he gave them voluntary like anesthesia and took them off. And like some people had like Lou Gehrig's disease and other things like that. So it doesn't say here from what I see like on this page whatever, but it shows like 4 people here who he helped, and like some people had like a terminally ill hep C virus, and
Oh,
yeah,
Ooh,
yeah.
okay.
So yeah, but
See, so
he died like he's considered he got the name of Dr. Death.
oh wait, I
okay.
think I might have
Oh,
heard.
I'm sorry, I see it. He assisted at least 130 patients to that end.
Whoa.
Oh
So
wow.
See,
he
so he probably knew he at that point he knew what he was doing,
oh
like
yeah.
in a good way. Like he was able to properly assist them. He like
Hmm.
yeah, he may have
Basically it
been a
seemed
black
like
market
they were
doctor,
all
but
going through
practice makes
bad
perfect.
times, you know.
The what? So I mean someone's bound to someone's gotta do it. I don't even know. But someone's gotta do it. Like,
I
fuck
missed that
it.
entire joke because my my headphones came out. But let's steer clear of this death talk. So let's go to make something fun really quick. So you play Sims. I
I
love it.
do.
Are you still active on it, or are you still taking a break from it?
Wait, so do you see that I play stems from like a previous interview that I've done, or do you see it like from like anything that I've posted?
I read like I did like as much research as I could about you
Okay.
really quick, and that was one of the things that it said somewhere. So I'm like,
I did.
okay, she plays Sims, and I'm like, okay, I know this person over here is addicted to Sims, and I should bring it up because Sim addicts is a thing.
I use so I do play Sims. I am a Sim
Yes,
player.
I do play it a lot. I don't really stream it because the laptop that I have, I can't do OBS and Sims at the same time. But my guy just got a new computer, so I'll be able to do it soon.
Nice. And you play Sims 4?
Yeah, I play Sims 4. I have most of the packs, but not the kits. Because I
Do
don't
you
want
have
to just wear clothes, like,
do you have Get Famous?
okay, whatever. Yeah, I feel like at that point it's kind of redundant. If
Oh,
you can
no,
download custom content, you,
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's true.
you
I
see,
that's
know?
true.
see, I haven't played Sims since it was the original Sims back in like 2001, 2002, and you had to buy all the discs. Then you had to install them all on your computer to have them all. And this is back when you can type in one code to get a whole bunch of money to start you off. And like now like
You can still do that.
That
I
cheap mother load.
Yeah.
I try to play Sims 4, but like you have to build the house and it's so intense now. I'm like, oh, I can't do this.
I
I
mean,
mean, you can download the house from the gallery.
Lazy.
mhm.
Goodness, that's like easiest way to do it. Just
I
kind of sort it down a little bit and then search most popular and then bam, you find one of the prettiest ones.
Yeah, but you still gotta make sure they
You
go to
don't even have to
work.
scroll down, just find one of the top row, like in the top set. You should find something solid. Like I
You
promise you.
you gotta tell the Sims to do what you don't want to do. Take out the trash and you go to work.
Well, I mean, you can play it like where you just let them do what they want to do and kind of see what they
Oh, I
do.
know. I'm just because thing is like I watched somebody do the 100 baby challenge. Do y'all know what that is?
Yes, for sure.
So
I
I'm
don't
like,
play it.
huh?
Like, how do you get 100 babies? Like, do you get them at once?
No,
Is it
like
over
the,
time?
the thing is like you can
Like, how
only
does this
have, from what I understand, you can only have 7 kids in the house at once.
Yeah.
So like you gotta like you start with a heroine, or you start with a person, whatever. And the thing is like every time the person gets pregnant, they don't age.
That's
So,
true.
but your kids age. So you go
Mhm.
through, and then the youngest becomes a new hair, like the new person when the main person gets too old. And
Oh,
so yeah,
Mhm.
and then that person, well, like then like when that person becomes of age when they can actually start having kids in the game, they become the new person, and then you go through the whole thing. And I think the person I watched, they went through took them three main people, because I
Three
think
generations?
the 3 generations. I think the first one was able to have like 23 kids or something like that, 30 kids, and then it went like that.
Imagine popping out 23 kids. Oof.
I mean, I think
Sam,
I
what have you done to them?
yeah, my Sims have a couple kids, but not like 100.
Right? Mine don't do anything too crazy. There was one where I left them alone, and I think so. I had moved three of them out, and they ended up having like six more. So I was like, okay, guys, you are insane. Like, you are hypofertile or something. That distracted me.
okay.
Um,
Well,
yeah.
what else do you play outside the Sims?
Well, I mean, I don't really play games as much because I've been so busy lately,
Oh
but
yeah,
I do
because
play Sims.
your star is shining bright. I understand, but you like you do have your down. That's an English. That's an English for you. Your down time.
So when I have my downtime, I am focused on my OnlyFans because honestly, you don't ever really have downtime, Like I have
Mhm.
time when I'm not like doing studio work. And actually, this is like the first 10 days that I have where I don't have a studio job. So even though like I don't have any studio work, yesterday I had to do like a couple video calls. Today I have to do the podcast with you guys. So like I haven't really had as much time to play games as I want to. But other
Hmm.
than playing Sims, since December, my nieces and my nephew were at my house for Christmas, and they were playing Fortnite, and I've kind of been playing Fortnite too. Like, but just like
That's
the
cute.
I'm so late to the party because I know that they've been like playing it forever. Like I remember when they were at my house before and they were playing it, and I was like, "What are you guys playing?" And they're like, "Oh, we're playing Fortnite." And I never got into it until December, so I really love it.
Okay. I love, like, I can watch Fortnite, but I cannot play it for the life of me. Like,
It's not that hard. You just have to get used to it.
it's the whole like building thing, but like, like I don't have the hand-eye coordination to build and kill and jump up, and I can't do all that.
I
Yeah.
think overall he just doesn't like building. That's what it sounds like. He said the same thing about Sims and now on this.
No, I play Stardew Valley. That's building.
Hmm.
What game do you play?
Stardew Valley.
I'm not sure I'm familiar with it.
It is probably one of the most popular independent games because it's
Oh,
one creator, and like basically you're on a farm and you build your farm out, whatever, but you have all these other tasks you have to do, like going into the dungeon and getting stone and stuff, and then you can find you a spouse, have like have your kids, whatever. But then you got to find all these artifacts. You can go to an island and make all this money, and it has so many elements to it. And like there was just an update that was trending on Twitter because like he hadn't did an update in so long, and he added so much stuff to it. And he added an island to it too. And like I've been streaming it because I finished it. It takes forever to get 100% on it, whatever. And not many people do it, and I was able to do it. And I was like,
congratulations.
well, yeah, thank you. And I'm like, I gotta get back to 100%. And I just did it like like after like playing it for like 30 more hours to get back.
Nice.
Yeah, so it just shows addiction. So
It's like me and Sims.
so what do you have coming out that we should look like people should look forward to? Like what are things?
Well, I just did two scenes with Adult Time that have not been released yet. And
Okay.
I think I have, how many scenes do I have that have not been released yet? I have like 4 or 5 scenes that haven't been released yet. I swear to you, since I won my AVN, I've been like nonstop busy.
That's a
So
good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
it
pretty
actually,
Great,
awesome,
it's a great thing, We want
um,
we want you to thrive.
I'm thriving. Like when I got into this, when I was doing mainstream, I wasn't planning on like taking it as far as I was. I just thought I was gonna work like with Groovy and like the Black Tea Girls and those
Mhm.
websites, which I love them so much. Because I worked with them before in the past, but I didn't realize I was gonna be like thrust into like major studios or anything like that. I really do feel like it's a blessing to be a Black trans woman and to be able to navigate within mainstream, and to be in spaces and to like work with studios that like not a lot of girls or not a lot of people, period, get to work with. So I
Yeah.
feel blessed.
One thing I do love that I've been seeing more recently is that these big studios that, just 3, 4 years ago probably wouldn't have like, spotlighted
Yeah.
a TS person. And
Mhm.
and now like they are really spotlighting them a lot more than they used to. And I'm like, okay, like,
I mean, they're late to the party. We make a
yeah,
lot of money,
they
regardless if
are.
yeah, regardless if like we get mainstream spotlight or not. Like trans women, it's a $1 billion industry.
Yeah, because
It really
like
does.
I
I
was
think that recently, mainstream, like just mainstream period, have gotten more aware, maybe negatively, more aware of like the trans community, but it's been around for like a long, long time.
I mean, I know
Hmm.
it's been around for a while, but I just like it wasn't getting the notoriety like in the mainstream. And like if it
No, there was only
was,
some
and if
girls.
it was always people speaking negative about it, which isn't, isn't fair, you know?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think that when
and
people are negative about certain things, it's like more of a, like a testament to like that person, like not the community, but like to the person. You know what I
oh
mean?
no,
So
I'm not talking about the community. I'm talking about um some of the negative perceptions that people have and things that they would say about people that are TS. And it's
what do
like
they say?
people always have something have a damn opinion about, people who are TS or trans mask, just about because, I'm trying to say this uh
Say it.
no, because
I'm
like this,
successful. I don't care what people say about me.
because it's not my opinion, it's not my viewpoint, but I know I read and hear stuff from how long I've been around, and it's a lot of nonsense, and it's just like people used to blame TS for the negative aspects of the industry, and it's a lot of BS. And I'm glad some of those negative BS comments aren't as fluctuated as much as they used to be back in the effing day. I don't cuss, so I'm gonna say an effing, but
People can finally admit what they like, they're finally free to admit it instead of
Um,
feeling peer pressured into saying they don't like it.
I don't think that I think that people still pretend, you know, because there's like women who make it so weird that a lot of men like are still secretive about it. But as far as like mainstream embracing it, that's something that's really probably new. And as far as like the stigma that you're talking about, I think that that stigma um affect LGBT period. But I did hear about recent or not recently, but back in the day, I did hear like when someone shot with the TS, they would be like, "Oh, now you're gonna expose this or expose that." And I know that there are even to this day some performers, and it is their prerogative because I think that we should all have a choice on who we want to work with and who we don't want to work with. But I know that there are sometimes performers who will not be as open to working with other performers if they've worked with trans women. And although I do think that that's, you know, like coming from a hurtful perspective, they all have their own prerogative and choices, which I always respect. But yeah, that was like something that was generalized for the TS culture. But thankfully, we get tested every 2 weeks. And another thing is that thankfully there's so many different things like PrEP. There's other, I don't know the right terminology for the other medicines that are available for like STIs, but I will say that I know that for HIV, there is a preventative, sorry, just 1 second. I know that there's a preventative called PrEP that really is really effective. And it's not just for the LGBT community, it's for anyone who is actively engaging in unprotected sex because it doesn't matter if you're gay, straight, trans, non binary, STDs and diseases are universal to just the human person, you know? So I am also glad that there's more education to take away from the ignorance and stigma that used to be, oh, trans people do this or do that, you know? And I'm also glad that there's representation to show people who might have a misconception on the trans community or the trans performer. I'm glad that there are representations to show differently, you know?
that's all I was trying to say, but I didn't know how to word that.
Oh, it's okay, baby. I
Because
got you.
no, because like I don't want to accidentally say something that is mean, and I'm like, it is not my viewpoint. I just know what I
Um,
hear.
You know, I'm gonna go on a limb and say that I'm fairly successful, and I was successful before I got into porn.
Yeah,
I've been a successful sex worker since I was 18, and I'm far from 18 years old. I've only ever been a sex worker.
yeah, you're only
So
23. Yeah,
I've, I'm not 23.
I'm.
So I've, so I've heard it all, and I'm not really offended because I know that my identity and who I am affords me a great life, and it affords me to take care of other people, an extensive amount of other people. So I'm not
Mhm.
really ever like offended by people's opinions because one thing that people will always have, even if they don't have anything, is an opinion. Mhm.
Hmm.
That is very true. Definitely.
And I'll still be beautiful and I'll still be paid and I'll still be a legendary award-winning girl.
Mhm.
So I don't be caring, baby.
Yeah,
But
and I will say this though, like I've noticed a lot more people are working with TS performers,
Oh, really?
and yeah, man, I know
what I've seen, yeah.
I've seen it a lot more. Well, I see like especially in the last 4 years, like because like if you seen it on before then, it was like, oh, it was so taboo, and then it was like, oh, that person's never gonna work again. And this is what you hear or what you
Oh,
heard in the background, because like people had such a darn stigma about working with anybody who crossed barriers, crossed over
okay.
whatever, and like I know of I can't think of their name right now. A performer who did straight porn and I'm gonna say gay porn, but like he did both. And like when it became of light, whatever, like a lot of people just didn't want to work with this gentleman. This was 2010-ish. And
So
and
trans
I'm
porn is not gay porn.
no
Gay
no
porn
no
is
no
gay
no
porn.
no no no. I'm
So
just
was he
saying
working with
no.
gay
He
performers
was
or with trans
he was
performers?
working with trans too. Like he was
Yeah, because
doing all he was
trans
doing
porn is not gay porn.
he was doing
It's
all three.
trans
No,
porn.
my point is he was doing all three. He was doing TS, he was doing gay, and he was doing straight. And a lot of people just didn't want to work with him anymore. And then when it came to TS, like it's I don't I'm trying to explain this correctly without getting my words
I mean,
tangled.
you're talking about old school. It's your podcast, so it's not like, and you're also talking, and you want to measure the progress from then till now. So I mean, just lay it out there, because I honestly, I'm gonna be so honest with you guys. Um, I'm not familiar with how bad it was. You know, I have a sister, shout out Natasha Dreams, who has been in this industry for 20 plus years. She is an ambassador on Pornhub. She's an actress. She is an international model. And she comes from the times where things were not always that great. And she does tell me that things were not always fair. She does always tell me that. I'm not familiar. So anytime that I can get information on how unfair the industry was, I'd love to hear it, because we can measure the changes.
Like I because like I don't like that person's a great human being, but I seen a lot of negativity, a lot of words people said that they probably still say now,
Can I be
but
candid with you
it
guys?
was huh?
Can I cuss? Can I be candid?
You can cuss
Yeah.
all you I don't curse. You can cuss
Look,
all you want to.
me and my girls, all of us trans models, we don't give a fuck what people are saying about us because we're
Oh, I
making
know.
money, we're breaking records, we're selling. The numbers don't lie, like it doesn't matter if you are in mainstream or if you are independent, because I know girls who are independent who are just turning it. These girls
Mhm.
are millionaires and six-figure sex workers. Like, I don't think that all those things that were said before are really like valid. I mean, some people like want to be like this way or that way, and they don't like trans girls, they don't like this, they don't like that. But if you don't like something, then I just feel like they should just like let it be. You know what I mean? Like let it
Mhm.
be. If it's not affecting you and your livelihood, and that said person is not disrespecting you, then I feel like you should just like let it be. Like, because we're literally in this space. We're gonna be in this space,
Yeah.
like, and if like a female doesn't want to work with like a male because he's worked with a trans woman, I feel like that is her right. I don't feel like she needs to be canceled because of that. But I also do feel like she should educate herself on what she is exposing herself or not exposing herself, and then make the decision and just say, I don't want to fuck you because you fucked a trans woman, and just be so real. Don't hide behind all these stigmas and all these things that really are not even relevant today. It's 2024, you know, like it's just not really relevant. We have so much more knowledge and there's so much more resources for us to speak factually that we don't have to place the blame on one community if they mix in with this community. And honestly, like girls are so much more open. Sarah, I don't know your platform, but girls be so they be so pansexual and so
Yeah.
different. You know, it's everyone's so different, you know? And if they're not, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's I feel like the industry is so fun. You keep talking
Mhm.
about 1998 when it just sucked, and it's just like we're having a party
I said,
now.
I said
I feel
98,
like it's so fun
2008,
now. Oh my
2008.
gosh, I get so depressed when I
2008.
hear about like how
2008, 2008, 2008, or 98,
2008
2008, 2008.
is that
Yeah, yeah,
I. But
that's
even
when
in
that's when I
Hollywood,
got in. So
it's changed so much too, right, guys?
yeah.
Not to mention
Definitely.
just like LGBT representation, but just like Black representation. I heard someone the other day say, I am so tired of seeing interracial couples in commercials. And I'm like, wow, I never thought that I'd hear that because, you know, me growing up, it was always one representation of what a family looked like. And now there's so many different representations. So, like, even in Hollywood, in mainstream culture, in mainstream heterosexual culture,
Mhm.
there's so much changes. So I am glad that trans porn is not so taboo. I mean, I'm not glad because I feel like when it was taboo, we made more money. And now that it's so mainstream, maybe it's not as ooh and ah as it used to be. I don't know.
Well, I
I
mean,
feel like in general, porn has become more easy access, you know, because like
Yeah.
obviously there's all these tube sites and stuff like that that everybody's kind of just either giving away porn. Obviously, you still make some crumbs on there for views, but in general, there's a lot of people that don't necessarily understand why they have to pay for porn versus like kind of, I don't want to talk too back in the day, but you know, back then people would want to get the DVDs, they would want to get the memorabilia and stuff like
Yeah.
that. They didn't have social media to be able to just hit us up and be like, oh, hey, baby, this, and that, where they can get a video chat. Like, so I feel like the addition of all of those different things makes it so that access kind of takes money away from it, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know about those days with like the DVD covers and stuff like that. I know that like there's limited, so now they do DVD stuff like back in the day, but not like it used to be back in the day. And
Exactly.
that sucks. Like that does suck. Like there is more access and yeah, you're right. You are right about that. I don't know anything about that. I'm so limited. Like I feel like I'm just getting into like, you know, like digital porn, like being a sex worker and like in sex work and like being like an actual like porn performer is so different. And you're right, like I don't even know like those days. Like the porn box days and um what were other ways back then that you guys would like network or get out to your guys' like fan base?
So if you think about it back then, since the internet wasn't as rampant as it is now, a lot of the only ways people would like fans would be able to meet the performers would actually be through conventions and through like meet and greets at the adult video stores. That used
Oh.
to be the only way, you know? So you'd be making bank back then versus
Mm-hmm.
now it's like, yeah, you can do like, yeah, there are still conventions, but they're not the same because people like to just walk around and see everything, you know, because a lot of times the entry tickets are so expensive that people are just like, oh, well, why do I have to pay for a picture now if I already paid for the century?
Oh, hell no.
see, because
Yeah.
I know back when I first, because I've been in longer than Sarah. Like when I first got around and I started meeting people, like it was all like when I got in, it was already like a growth of social media. And but the thing is, it's like everybody was on this thing called MySpace, so it was kind of hard to know who was real and who was fake. And outside of that, you still had, you know, certain people that were using Facebook to advertise in a really, really soft way. And someone basically someone who I knew from college was like, "Hey, Raw, uh, do you want to meet some porn stars?" I'm like, "Cool, why not?" And then like right at the same time, I got paid by Playboy to do like hiring and stuff, and that's when I started like seeing like all the divides inside the industry amongst every section of every section of the industry. And it's been so much change of what is okay, what isn't okay, from knowing that it used to be like testing was every once a month compared to every
Really?
2 weeks. Yeah, it was every 30 days.
Yeah.
It was every
Oh.
30 days, like, and then like like I remember when it switched from 30 days to 14 days. And like my only objection was when they were talking about doing a 7-day one. And I'm like, well, that's a little bit too much only because of how much the damn test costs.
And
And
then the scar tissue from like having to get tested so much.
Hmm.
yeah, it's like
I heard some
it's a
places would
lot.
do 7-day for anal, a 7-day test if you're doing anal stuff. And I'm like, that kind of makes sense, but it's also still like that's still a lot,
It's
and
still a lot. And
I don't want
it
people who
still adds
report
up.
anal sex to look like junkies. Like,
And like the thing is like sometimes they don't even pay you enough for you to get tested every damn week, you know? So
No, some studios do not include testing in your rate. I have when
yeah,
I yeah, when I negotiate prices, I do ask like, like is makeup gonna be available and is testing reimbursement gonna be available? And it's not always available. You're right. And it does add up. I know that some companies have a deal where you can pay X amount and get tested X amount of times a month. So that's a
yeah,
good thing. Can I ask you guys both a question?
yeah,
yeah, for sure.
How long have you guys both been within the industry, within the adult industry space?
So I actually started in late 2017,
Okay.
basically around, I would say like summertime. Well, actually, no, I did Chicago Exotica 2017, and that's usually in April. So I guess I started around April.
I started in June of 2008.
Okay.
So like yeah,
It's been a
I
while.
was working for reality TV shows, and I moved to LA and had nothing going on. And then my first gig out here in LA, well, my third gig was to work for the Playboy Mansion. And while I was doing the Playboy Mansion, I met two individuals. One is a good person, one is someone who's in jail right now. And
Yikes.
I met Tony Batman, and I met Ron Jeremy.
Oh,
And yeah, that's when I started,
well, he's being arraigned, right?
yeah, he's still in jail right now. So, but
Oh, okay.
the thing is like I'm not gonna get into that, but yeah, he's in jail right
Okay.
now. And but yeah, that's when I started doing stuff, and then I ended up working with Urban X Awards like at the end of 2009, and that's one of the main things I do in the industry compared to like back then I used to help people get in, be like not as an agent, but like you want to get in? Okay. Talk to this person, talk to this person, talk to this person. But I never took money for it. It wasn't like I'm an agent or whatever they call it,
You're an
a recruiter.
insider.
Yeah, I was just someone who knew people. And
Okay.
because I knew people on both sides of the spectrum from mainstream to, porn side. So it's like, yeah, I know I know who to contact. I know like and that's when it was harder to get in. Now it's a lot easier to get into the industry than it was back then.
Is it?
Yeah, like
It
now
feels
like
like it.
get these days like and I'm not and this is not a shout out a shot at anybody because these days uh many people can become content creators, and depending on your content creator level as far as popularity, some agencies will just call you in as a content creator to do some mainstream stuff, depending, and it's up to you to say yes or no.
Oh,
And that's with the rise of like OnlyFans and ManyVids and all the other ones, loyal fans and stuff like that, compared to back then when like you had like the agency's rosters was a lot smaller, like compared to like I know one agency I looked the other day had like 40 people that they represent, but like
oh, oh yeah,
back
the
in the day
agency.
you had like 15 people that they represented, because it's so populated now, and it's a lot, because some agencies like to have an influx of different variety, and then back then it was like the same people having sex over and over again, and it's a huge rift of acceptability and what is good, what people consider is good and not whatever, you know. So
I could see.
I see the rise of good things, and I see the fall of bad things, but I see the continuation of some things, and some things that just changed like 2 years ago, 2 3 years ago, and it's kind of like, has it really changed? Because people are still like, you know, you still hear people say the word interracial, and you're not supposed to say interracial anymore. And it used to be a big thing of like, oh, this is blah blah's first scene with a black person, whatever. And it was a big thing. It used to be like, oh, this is blah blah's first anal scene. And
Mm,
now some people's first scene is an anal scene. And it's just like what people what things have changed over the past, what, that's 16 years I've been in the industry.
Was anal
Like,
not something? Was
no, it
anal
was
not a? It
it
wasn't a thing.
no,
it was a thing, but like, for example, like some people came in, they would work for like 5 6 7 years, and then like, oh, and now like a big old thing coming out, blah blah's first anal scene, and it become a bit popular scene because, and they get paid a lot more for it, because it was their first anal and it got spotlighted, and
mhm,
then like it was that thing, whatever, and
yeah.
like, and now, like I said, a lot of people now, their very first scene is an anal scene, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just things have changed, compared to
Yeah.
you know just
There
9 years
used to
ago.
be kind of like a timeline for when to do things. For example, like sometimes people would start with just girl girl and then build up to boy girl and then, anal and then eventually DPs like 15 years down the line. Now that timeline has kind of shortened.
Do you feel like
Like,
they have to just like? Do you why do you feel like now it's giving? I just debuted and I'm doing a gangbang anal
well,
scene.
I feel like it's I'm not gonna say that it's like that they're pressured into it, but it's like they hear this is what you need to do to stand out. This is what you need to do to is it like to literally stand out from other people. Like you're new, but there's a dime a dozen. There's always going to be a new 18-year-old.
I
Is one of the
rem
things
I
we always see.
remember I
There's
remember
always
That's fair.
I remember at this
Every day.
event, I remember at this event I was at in 2009 2010, and a performer was on stage, and he said, y'all better get out here and find new things to do because someone turns 18 every day. And
mm,
and side note, I always felt that that age should be raised a little bit, for the internet industry, but that's a different story. Um, because it's like, someone does turn 18 every day, and some people can get manipulated into, hey, let's do this anal scene. Let's have your first scene be like, as you said, you're doing like a anal gangbang. Let's have your first scene be a gangbang, and it's like, and people don't know, like how back in the day you used to
I
get
know
paid a
better.
lot more money for it. compared
Hmm.
to, and the thing is like, yeah, I understand now because of the internet has messed up the amount of money y'all can make in porn because everybody steals. It's not free porn. It's still everybody steals porn and like they say, oh, it's on blah blah site for free. Um and
Hmm.
and because of that, like these agencies don't, they just need new things to put out there,
Hmm.
This
Exactly.
observation, this observation. I can say some things because y'all can't say it, but yeah, it is. There's a lot of bull BS that goes on, you know. And I believe,
I don't work with a talent agency or anything like that, so I'm not familiar with like the inner workings
well,
of
not
like the
not just
agent.
not just agencies. I mean, companies and stuff like that. Because like for a scene that you'll get paid, let's say I'm gonna lowball it. Let's say a scene you get $1,200 for now. You probably would have got like 16 or 17 for just a few years ago, as far as like without inflation, things like that. So you would have paid a lot more for that same scene, but because of how the influx
Competitive.
of, yeah, well, the competitism and the influx of how many scenes, like this, a scene that would drop today on any one of those sites is already on 900 sites right now because of the fact that like people would just take like people would just take it from there and put it up everywhere, and it
Mhm.
lures people who want to buy it because everybody think porn is free and it's not,
Because it's already available somewhere.
and it's
Exactly.
BS, and
Why don't companies take action to get those things taken down more?
they
Because they're the
can.
ones losing the money. Because I mean, the model paid, even if it's not, what you're saying, it could have been more, but the model's paid, and then the companies made this investment into this production, and now it's just available on a tube site, and they're not getting the subscribers to drive into
Well,
the site to see it because it's already available. They should take more action, I feel like.
there's been some change to some of the websites that are the most popular ones. And some of these websites now are using those sites to promote, but there's also like on the black end site of everything, they can't control like what is like, for example, if I started a website today and I call it free crazy porn sites, whatever, and I just uploaded everything and my name is not on there and it's blacklisted and like I blacklist my name, I could put up like a whole bunch of scenes and no one knows it's me. And like I can make it into a chat room form where anybody can post up anything and it's all on there for free. And it's like no one can tell like whatever. And they can try to do that, but like, and if it does get taken down, I can just create three more, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
I'm
that's
sorry.
exactly what
I
I
thought I
think they
cut that
do.
off.
Mhm. His doorbell.
Do you need to get it?
No, it's no one
It's the
important.
mail. Usually they just drop it off, but they still ring the doorbell.
Oh, to let you know, I'm gonna grab my charger for my phone, so just pause it for 2 seconds, okay? It's just like right
Okay.
here. I'm so sorry.
And the thing is, it's like, I mean, I understand things change, and I understand that, and I appreciate like, this visibility, but it just sucks that it has changed for the negative for a lot of people, and people keep stealing porn, and they say, "Oh, it's free," and it's not freaking free; it's stolen. And I even tell people that when they say, "Well, it's free to me," and I'm like, "Well, you're just stealing content." And yeah, I mean, like, and I hate even more, like, for example, if, like, if I was a performer and I released stuff and it showed up on, like, and I did it only for my OnlyFans and it showed up on all these sites, it's like, okay, I took the time to do my makeup. I took the time to um, either collab with this person or pay this person to come and do something with me. And now the site is up everywhere for free. And I don't know, like, if I'm making at least my money back from doing said scene, like because it takes makeup, shoot location. If I'm not, if I hire somebody to record it for me, is record location. And once again, if I pay the other person to, shoot with me, like it's all these darn factors that, it's to be considered, whatever, and then people are just stealing it.
Yeah, yeah, that sucks.
At the end of the day, it's not just porn that gets stolen. I feel like that's just the most guilt-free thing that they steal, because it's so taboo. But if you think about it, at the end of the day, they're going to do that with regular types of movies, like TV shows, video games. I've seen those get well,
Really?
like, yeah, actually,
Hell no, not even the game.
I've seen that happen, and that's why there's a lot of for example, Sims. When you play it, you have to go in through Origin, but that's why they do it. They do that extra thing, even though you have the game already downloaded. You still have to go through the EA/Origin app to even play Sims. You have to sign in and prove that you own it
Oh
every
wow.
single time you sign it.
Is that something that's new? Because I know they have like the what is that Sims add-on that they have?
They have Sims City and they have the Sims app. Like,
No, there's this
oh,
add-on where you can see them fucking and
oh, those are mods.
yeah, what is okay. What is that?
Those are mods. So those are like free things, but you still have to own the game in order to play the mods. In order,
Okay, so
Yeah.
you can use the mod, you can go through Origin and still have the mod on it, or
Mhm.
Yeah.
oh yeah, oh I was
Yes.
gonna say like does it filter out the mods? Okay.
No, because
No, it doesn't.
I know, let's say I play Stardew Valley and there's a mod that can have them just walking around the town butt naked. So I'm like,
It
what?
makes it I feel like it adds interest. I have never played any of the mods on Sims, but I've been seeing them and they're interesting.
Girl, you should play the Wicked Whims. There's a zombie mod. There's a basically like a serial killer type of mod. There's so many different things you can play with your Sims, so you can just make it go crazy. That way, it's not just the boring playground essentially.
Yeah, do you always play like so when you play your Sims characters, do you always play like by the social book, like, or do you sometimes do everything opposite of what's expected just to make, like that type of evil ass character? I've never done it before, but sometimes
Yeah.
I want to.
So it depends on what mood I'm in. So I have different save files for different things that I want. One of them is an evil vampire. So he actually has a girl that lives with him. She's technically a young adult, but she lives with him and she's basically his blood bag. I made him that evil. And he
Because you have
goes and
this
he has,
storyline.
yeah, and he has a baby mama, like he doesn't really take care of the babies. He doesn't really do nothing with the baby mama other than make babies, shit
That's
like
so
that.
cute.
But I don't know. He hasn't been mean, but he's he's I don't know. He's like a smooth talker, like a smooth criminal.
Yeah.
He does all these crazy things. He takes blood from a lot of people. He compels them instead of asking for permission, which is not good. But he's
Because he's a
still
smooth
super
talker.
nice and he doesn't get caught most of the time. And I'm just like, come on, homie, you are evil and you have a good reputation. Are you kidding me?
The best villains are all the best villains are like that. They have the best reputations until it all crumbles down, and then you just hear all this stuff that they've been doing, and it's like, wow, we thought they were a good person.
Exactly.
We're seeing that in real time so much right now in the present day. Like, there's always like this guy who was like so smooth and like a smooth operator and just like had all the charisma, and then next thing you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like this person is a vampire and has been Not in our
Exactly.
blood.
That's how they get away with it for so long, you know? I feel like
That's
that's
so
really what it
funny.
is.
What's his
Mm-hmm.
name? Because you know they always got names. You're like, it's not more of a name, it's more of a vibe. It's the
It's the vibe. It's really the
vibe.
vibe.
Yeah.
But,
It's just all my Sims are the same. They're all it's a family. And so like it's like a legacy family. And
mhm.
each family household is like just like a different career. It's kind of like I don't know, like for a time, I was like in this relationship for like hella years, and I wasn't constrained, but I was in my relationship, so I just didn't do a lot. And he would be working, and when I wasn't like doing whatever I was doing, I would play Sims. So it became like my little, how
Okay.
when
Mhm.
it comes like, I haven't been playing as much, but when I was playing, girl, it was like my life, and my Sims were like, they were like, it was like a whole family, a whole legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, like back in the day, when I played like 2000, 2001, like let's see, like I named the people I had crushes on. And
Hmm.
so it was just me and characters named after whoever I had a crush on at the time.
Mhm. You were
So
simulating a relationship with that person.
yes,
Oh God.
and
Some people do that.
some of
Some people
those
simulate.
some of those may have occurred, and some of those didn't in the long run. But it was like, oh, okay.
Oh, you were manifesting. You were playing Sims and manifesting some things.
Yes,
Mhm.
I was
I
manifesting
do
a
that.
by I manifested my failures, but like, yeah, I manifested.
I've built my
So,
house before on there on Sims.
oh, did you? Yeah.
Yeah, I've done that. And like, for example, if I want to redecorate, I'll go and I'll build it and I'll start moving things around. And I'm like, actually, that's not gonna work out, huh?
Yeah, it's inspirational. I think because not everyone can get into it, but if you can get into it, it's inspirational and it it really is very similar to life. Like there's some times when I'm out and I'm all like talk about the weather or it's funny. Sims is so funny.
Or like there's sometimes where I'm like mid action and then I pause all of a sudden and then I just freeze. I'm just like, oh, my Sims owner paused the
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
or canceled the action, and I was like,
That is so
oh my
funny.
goodness, what am I gonna do now?
So that's what happens when we try to go into another room and then we forget what we walked in there for. Is this
Mm,
our sim creator was like, hey, I don't want you to be in that
never
room.
mind.
Go back. Never mind.
Exactly.
Cancel action.
After you play Sims, it feels like we're living in a simulation, or it does. It really kind of does. There's so much
Mhm.
stuff we can get in. Oh my gosh, the simulation Sim. It feels like
I
that.
feel like
Sometimes when I play, it's just so much.
I feel like that's how you know that we got in too deep into the game. Like
Yes. When you
it
start
was
realizing, when you're like, wait, what is life?
exactly. There's because I told you I have different save files. So right now I also have one that's basically like a decades challenge. I have different rags to riches. One of them, she's like a teen, and so she's going to school and trying to make money and pay rent on her own. But I think right now my favorite one is the decades challenge because they start off in Sulani, so they're like, they're in that one island that's by itself.
Mhm.
So they literally have to kind of live off the grid, like figure their life out. Like they kind of hate it, but it's funny. Like I was able to finish the seashell collection, and so they're able to make money that way. But like, there's no electronics or anything, so it's so boring. And I'm just like, all right, how am I gonna do this? And I'm like,
They
you know
have
what?
to,
I'm gonna have them just slowly like move through the map and make it seem kind of realistic, like they're nomads or something.
yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
just over time and as the generations progress too,
Mhm.
because with every generation, it's supposed to be a different decade. Like they build up.
Yeah.
So eventually, it'll be a big thing. I'm trying to get to like 10 generations eventually.
How many are you up to?
I'm on the second one.
Oh, no, the second one. Okay, okay, okay.
Mm,
No, that's
still
all.
in
I
the
feel like it's
game.
always fun. It feels like family-ish when you do like the generational stuff with the Sims. I like it.
Mhm. Exactly, because you start like talking about their personalities and stuff like that. It's almost like with a dog, where you spend enough time with them and you like pick up on their personalities, their little cues, and you end
Hmm.
up doing that with the Sims too. You're like, oh, my Sims likes this, they don't like this, like.
Can you? Can you play? Can you play in front of your boyfriend? Because I can't. When I would play, I wouldn't like I couldn't get into it in front of people, and I could only play by myself because I wouldn't be able to get into it the way that I get into it if someone was around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, well, he plays Sims Cities, which is not exactly the same. So we kind of already played like next to each other, so it's not really a problem. And he's a big gamer, so I don't think
Oh,
we ever
cool.
had issue of like feeling self-conscious or anything playing the game.
I
Well,
always feel so self-conscious. I
that
really
with that Wicked Whims mod, there's random orgies on screen, and he looks over, and I'm looking over like, oh, why do you look at this time? Like, I didn't even make them do that. Okay, now you just
yeah.
have this dirty girl like doing these
That's
Sims.
so funny.
That's what you say.
Exactly. That's I'm like, okay, I have autonomous actions on. Okay.
That's so funny. I can't wait to see you guys for Urban X. Are you guys all excited? It's not that far away. I mean, think about
Oh
it. It's 8
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
that
excited for it, because I'm like, well, I know for us, I'm hoping that like this podcast gets nominated again. It's always like like win or lose, it's just that little notification saying, "Hey, you're getting recognized for what you're doing."
Mhm.
And the fact that
And you
I
guys deserve it.
I love doing this whatever in general just because I get to interact with people on a different level because I know like I've spoken to you a few times just in the past. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? And we keep on walking, whatever. But then like, or the same thing with people who are fans, whatever, they don't get a chance to to know like sit back and just hear you talk, unless they're at a convention. And then if you're at a table whatever, they only get like so many minutes of your time, depending on how long your line is. And then if you're just there and you're walking around and they can speak to you for a second, but you're trying to enjoy the convention, you can't sit back and talk to them again. Or they might not know
Yeah,
you're there. So I
it's
love and
so overwhelming conventions.
yeah,
Yeah.
I love just getting to know something about, other humans because it's fun. And
Mm-hmm.
so I don't like I'll be at XRCO, I'll be at Urban X this year for this
Oh, so you're gonna be at the art the how do you say it? X is it? I call it Arco.
XRCO.
Okay, so and
The
that's like soon.
the X-rated critics awards.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and that one's like on the 4th, right? May 4th?
Yeah, May 5th.
Okay, yeah, I think that Anna was talking to me about it. I recently we did a photo shoot together, that she produced. It was really fun, and she had
Yeah,
mentioned it.
so you'll see me like if you'll see me there. I'll be taking pictures on the red. I'll be taking the pictures on the red carpet. So
Okay,
that's the role I do for XRCO. Is
awesome.
I'm like a regular one of the side photographers that's just there,
I appreciate when I
somewhere around Rick. It'll be like, hey,
yeah.
Yeah, he's just there, and Rick outshines him.
Oh,
no, because Rick, no, don't
which
no.
Rick?
Rick,
Industry by Rick, he's
industry by
just
Rick.
awesome.
Oh, Industry by Rick. Okay, yeah, yeah.
Industry
The
by Rick.
photographer.
That I always call Rick the guy that every person who is a photographer in the industry should emulate.
Hmm. Yeah, he's an awesome
So
photographer.
I give Rick all his flowers and then some. So
Yeah.
and yeah, so but I'll be around him like this, waiting my turn, like be like, you know how you look up to your idol, like take your pictures, Rick, and then I go, you know.
That's so funny.
Exactly.
That's
Like
so funny.
when I get off of here, I have to edit pictures too. So
Yeah, I appreciate you always being open. Every time I've ever seen you, like from Urban X, I remember when I saw you walking in before we had met each other, but you already knew who I was from just dealing with nominations, and you were so sweet and so welcoming. And then seeing you for X3 and seeing you for any event that I've ever seen you for, you've always been so open, and I just want to say that I really do appreciate that a lot. And I also appreciate both of you guys for having me on your guys' podcast today.
oh, no problem, no problem. Like
It got a little touchy because I just
Yes,
don't,
Barbie.
it sucks with the, you know, like with the stigma with trans. I mean, I guess I do get offended for that past history, you
Mhm.
know? It just, it really does suck. And I'm not going to say that I'm jaded and I don't, but I'm not fully, I haven't had to experience it. Not like everything's been great and every performer has been nice, because on social media, sometimes people don't know that I'm trans just because of, you know, on Instagram. I mean, on Twitter, you know I'm trans. Like on Instagram, you don't always know initially. And then, like, if you do your research, of course, you'll get that unfollow. And of course, I feel some type of way. But then I also, I'm not the type of girl that's trying to force myself to be in spaces where I'm not welcome. But
Mhm.
I do invite those spaces to be more open-minded and to to be not more progressive, but just open-minded and just, you know, like not always lead with old stereotypes, because things are so different, and don't always lead based off of, like, you know, the media, because the media it's so divisive right now. It's like I feel like there's like a movement to create a conversation that is negative and detrimental to the, you know, to the LGBT community. Honestly, I
Mhm.
really do. And so, like, when we get like when we get into the like our stuck in our when we get like trapped with those conversations, it just makes it hard to, you know, like get to know a person outside of what is being said, or, you know, everyone's different and not everything that's always like said is the truth. So I'm just glad that we're able to get like past that. And even though there's so much more work to be done, probably with like performers working with trans people and things like that, I just hope that the work that is being done is, you know, count for something. There's so many girls making such big waves in like the industry, like Emma, especially. Emma Rose makes such
Yeah.
huge waves. I mean, you guys both know Emma, right?
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love her. She's like really making a lot of big, strong strides for like the trans community as far as like as a whole and visibility and stuff like that. I really appreciate that. You know, like I don't know.
Yeah, so that's why I said I always like earlier on I was trying to because I tried to make sure that I don't say anything wrong that I'm trying to say because I don't want to upset and like because I know you understand like where I'm coming from.
Yeah,
I don't want to say anything incorrect, you know.
Mhm.
And being very mindful of that because I don't want it to make anybody think or have an assumption of, you know, negative thoughts. And I'm like, no, that's not who I am. I'm just trying to say what I hear. And I
I think that
seen
you're a pretty open person. I think it's very obvious too that you're an open, accepting person and with a willing ear, willing to learn and listen and stuff like that. I don't think that
and I
it's the
no,
same.
I mean because like, you know, people can take things out of context. That's the thing.
Yeah,
And but I seen so much growth and so much change just in the industry and how and the world too a little bit, but it's still still a long way to go.
I
There's
feel like the
people
world has a long way to go because there's just so much going on.
yeah,
There's a lot of
but it's been so much change within the realm of the industry, whatever, that how they treat anybody who is LGBTQ, whatever, or just people who are TS or
was it just the TS community that there was this stigma with, or was it
it's
was it
everything. Any
so was it okay? So yeah,
anything
okay.
any because
Anyone that wasn't just heterosexual.
How can,
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay,
yes,
okay,
okay.
okay.
I'm
I
gonna
wasn't
say it
sure.
like
Okay,
that.
okay.
That's a good one. Anybody who isn't heterosexual, like it was something that they would say negative about it,
Okay, yeah.
and
I can give you an
a lot has
example.
gotten better, you know, over the years, but it's just always so everybody has an opinion, and it's
Yeah.
not good, and they still have them now. Don't doubt that. And it's how can I say this?
Oh,
It's a lot of people who have opinions that are negative in public that aren't those same opinions in private. So
I've had oh yeah, yeah, true. Yeah.
yeah, I'm not
I
saying
don't like to get
names.
into those kinds of yeah. I
I'm
really wish
not.
that those
Yeah.
people there's nothing wrong with being private about
No,
your lifestyle.
there's nothing wrong about being private
I
about
don't
it.
like
I
when
don't,
you talk about it publicly in a mean way, but then privately are with it. That's when it's like harmful. Why are you like?
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
when I don't like that.
that's what I
That's what
mean.
I don't like.
That's what
seen
I'm saying. That's what
that.
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying that
Just
I
be
don't
quiet.
like
Period.
people who are like who are very publicly against
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
this
That's
and that, and then they come back and then at the end of the day they're doing this and that and this
Yeah,
and
that's
that.
messed up. That's so messed up. Now that can make someone feel shitty. Like, damn, like I
Yeah,
know how this person feels and I care about that person and I don't want to like say the wrong thing and blow up their spot. But this person literally is downing us publicly.
yeah,
Mhm.
I've experienced that or seen that, and that really that is hurtful, and that is what makes no sense. Like it's like literally nobody. Oh, we hate such and such community. No one asked you, and then behind closed doors, hey,
yeah. So,
that's
Yeah.
fucked up. That's messed up. Yeah. I'm
but
not really aware of all that. I don't know. I don't know. I don't
That's
know.
someone like that. That's someone
I've
really quiet like that.
I've
Maybe
seen
not.
things. So
Hmm.
I've seen
I'm
things.
sure you guys have been around. I mean, Sarah, you've been around for almost a decade.
And
You've
like
also been around
Yeah.
and earlier when I was talking about tube size, whatever, I left out one big thing. People been doing it since back in the day because they used to put like people used to make those home VHS tapes. You know, VHS. Home
That's
VHS tapes.
true.
And then like, you know, just pass them around. That's how long I've been around. VHS tapes, because I had one of those. I'm not
that's
gonna
like
lie,
word of mouth.
I had one or two that were just scenes back to back from way different movies that someone compiled and you know recorded on different tapes and then just gave them out or sold them out to people. That's how far back I go, and with my porn watching, and I forgot I was going with this, but we
I was
have
more of a Tumblr person. Since we're on that subject, I never really got into mainstream porn only because I didn't really have access like that. And I was always so scared to put it on my computer because I didn't want to get in trouble. And so I would
Yeah.
be more so like a Tumblr, get it from Tumblr and Twitter. Honestly, yeah, I would. And so I would be familiar with like
Hmm.
some some mainstream performers, but not a lot. It was more so like
The indie one.
amateur. Yeah, like
Yeah.
amateur. Yeah, like and then sometimes I'd be like, you know, like the big, they're so hot and everyone just knows them. Of course, those ones. But like mostly it was like more like amateur. It was really mostly amateur. I
Yeah.
think I've gotten more so into porn and like the performers and like even like the legends and stuff recently. Now that I look at it more, I always looked
Hmm.
at it as an art, but before it wasn't like oh performing. It was more so oh they're hot. I want to watch them have sex. Now it's like oh I want to see
Hmm.
this person's art and I want to know more about it and know the history. So
Yeah.
now I'm looking at more. Yeah.
do you have a list of people
Let
who
me do
you
some
want to work with?
research.
Do I have a list of people that I want to work with? Yeah, but I kind of don't want to say. I don't want to say it because honestly, they don't always work with trans performers. But I have a
Okay.
list of girls I want to work with. I will say that.
Okay, who is your top five?
Um, so I want to work with Brittany Cade first and foremost. I want to work with Kendra Lust. I want to work with
Hmm.
who else do I wanna work with? I want to work with Gemini Baby. I don't know if you guys know who that is, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I
I
met
want to
her.
work with Willow Ryder and Amina Green.
Oh, that'd be so fun.
But yeah, as far as like male performers, I would love to work with Alex Jones. Um, who else would I love to work with? Cliff Jensen. There's a lot of guys I would want to work with, but I kind of don't like saying names.
It's okay.
Maybe too
And
very. You don't want to jinx it either, you
yeah,
know?
Yeah.
one of the people you said is one of my food buddies.
Who?
Amina.
Amina?
Amina.
Oh, she's so beautiful. I love her so
Yeah,
much. We're like
she's like
social media buddies.
yeah, she's like we hang out sometime and just get food.
Oh, that
Yeah,
sounds
yeah,
nice.
just get food and just go our separate ways. Like get food and then see you later.
I
Like
like
that,
her.
you got that cobbler.
Wait, tell me more about the cobbler.
The peach
It was a
cobbler?
peach cobbler.
Yeah. It was like
Mm.
I go to this one place. Oh well, these people they have a small business. I do a lot of pop-ups because I love helping small businesses. And they sell gumbo. That's their main thing they do is gumbo.
Oh
And
wow.
they also have peach cobbler and other stuff like that.
What is
And
this place called?
it is called um I'll tell you in a second because I just messaged them because they now are selling they had this place in Northridge, California every Wednesday now.
Because I'm new to
And
LA. I need to know where these places are.
well, like I will say it to you. They are they're at this place in Northridge, California, every Wednesday, and I don't see their name right now. Miss Joyful Gumbo
Okay.
and I'm sorry, yeah, Joyful Gumbo, and the gumbo is so good.
I love
And
it. I love gumbo.
they have gumbo. They also sell chicken. They also sell a whole bunch of different sides. And they have like peach like banana pudding. Damn it, what's that stuff called? Macaroni and
Hey,
cheese.
shout out to food.
Yeah, macaroni and cheese and stuff like
I'm
that.
hungry now.
And yeah, and
There's
like
like
so
there ain't got bacon in front of us.
I go to that and I like she had me go to this one place and got some jollof. I love jollof rice. Oh my God.
Oh,
Um and so
wait,
yeah,
Amina?
yeah, Mina Green.
I think, yeah, because I could have sworn that she was just like asking about like a
Yeah,
place like,
she did. And I
was that
messaged
like,
her.
wasn't that like
That was
yesterday? Like,
yesterday. That was yesterday.
yeah, because I literally was
And
just
I
looking at her story.
and I
I was
messaged
literally
her.
just looking at
I
her
messaged
story.
her and
Yeah.
I said, anybody out there who's listening, this is my opinion. Yeah, I'm not saying this is fact, but
Yeah.
if you look at all the every time someone even ranks this stuff, it's correct. I believe Ghanaian jollof rice is better than Nigerian jollof rice. That's my opinion. But anyway, and I messaged her that the other day, and yeah, I know a few good jollof places too. So yeah, so that's one of my food buddies, and that's why I thought
Got
about
me
it.
in
Yeah.
agreement with that. That's cool. And then
Last
also too, it's baby Gemini. I said Gemini baby. Sorry guys. I was like getting cross-eyed for a moment, but it's baby Gemini that I want to work with actually. So
Mhm.
I mean, I might talk to that person later on, so I might say, "Hey,
we talked about it. I actually,
oh,
before I was performing, I met Amina at the 2023 Teas before I was even performing. And
uh-huh.
we
Mhm.
discussed, yeah. And then I saw her again for Urban X for the party because she was hosting one of
Yeah,
the
she was one.
lingerie party, right?
Yeah, she was
Yeah.
on the host."
Yeah, and so I always see her because she's always doing media stuff when for every event, and so we've talked about it. So maybe it will happen. You never know. I've been like, we'll see what happens. She's so
Yeah,
beautiful. I would love to
I
work with
think that'd
her.
be so awesome.
Yeah.
I would
So
love to see
we
that.
have reached our end. I don't want to take too much more of your time. Where can everybody
Oh,
find you?
there's
Yeah,
like, it
yeah,
was
because
nice to meet you, Sarah.
yeah. Now I'm looking. I'm like,
I can't
oh,
wait
he's
to meet you in person at Urban
Of
X.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll see you there.
where
Yeah.
where can
Thank
everybody
you guys
find
for
you?
having me. Oh, you can find me on X. It is Leilani underscore Lee, and you can find me on OnlyFans. Same thing. It's Leilani Lee. And then you can also find me on Instagram. I am Leilani Lee.
Sarah.
Sweet. And you guys can always find me on iamsarahLace.com. All of my links in social media is going to be on there. And Rasta?
RAWSEARR on Twitter and on Instagram. We are the Burbank Misfits on Instagram, Burbank Misfits on Facebook and on Twitter. BurbankMisfits.com that says everything that we do, from everything from fitness to pictures to all the Sarah stuff,
All the dirty things I do.
the podcast, and all, like, we're in a lot of different fields. Oh yeah, and our merch store is up. There's only one shirt on there of Sarah so far. It's gonna be more soon, but
Oh,
um,
cute.
and we will see you next week. Thanks again, Miss Lee, for for coming
No,
on.
thank you guys for having me. I felt so welcome. I appreciate you guys so, so much. And I cannot wait to see you guys again.
All right, be well, stay
Sweet,
blessed, and see
sweet
y'all next
mood.
time.